I am the bomb you built. The voice tore through the steel walls of Hangar B7, an explosion of rage wrapped in a throat gone raw. Silence followed, but only for a breath. Then came the screaming. Before that moment, before the sky cracked like a shell and the desert turned to glass, she had been their star, their pet monster, their glittering secret in the salt-crusted bowels of the Manhattan Project. Her name was Megumin, and she had smelled like ash the moment she arrived. She dropped into their world like a curse misfired. The Time Ripper machine stuttered and vomited sparks, whining like a dying god. Men in white coats stumbled back as a form spilled onto the floor. A girl, young, twitching, wrapped in black, tattered robes rimmed in crimson. One eye glinted red with impossible light. Her staff fused to her arm like a tumor of wood and bone. Blood crusted her fingernails. Her mouth twitched into a grin that didn't reach her eyes. "I smell war," she said. "Do you have a battlefield for me?" They clapped. They cheered. They shook with awe and terror. Dr. Whitmore, gaunt and beetle-eyed, was the first to kneel. His hands trembled as he stroked her hair, whispering the name he gave her, Project Obsidian. "You are ours now. You are history's razor." Los Alamos reeked of ghosts. The sun baked the test site into a blistered ruin. Chain-link fences curled with barbed wire. Bunkers hunched in the sand like half-buried corpses. Inside the facility, hallways pulsed with a sickly green fluorescence. The walls were streaked with iodine and something darker. The scientists walked like men too long deprived of sunlight or sleep. Megumin was kept in cell 27. There were no windows, only cameras, only injections, only recordings. The ceiling leaked condensation onto her cot. Her fingers trembled from withdrawal. Her staff had been taken. But her voice, sharp as fractured glass, remained. "You smile at the monster," she muttered one night, voice bouncing off concrete. "But you scream when it bares its teeth." Her body was a battlefield. They plugged cables into her spine, ran wires into her scalp, electrodes bit into her temples. Each test left her colder, hungrier, deader. She watched their eyes behind the mirrored glass and saw nothing but gleaming hunger. Whitmore called her the linchpin of peace. He visited her with trembling hands and a mouth that frothed with ambition. He never touched her, but he always stared. "You're going to end the war for us with just one word." She never said it, not once. Until they brought her the reels. Film, real. War footage, uncut. Screaming children clawing at rubble, gas-choked soldiers shuddering in trenches, bodies twisted into ash sculptures by napalm. Concentration camps where limbs were bartered like currency. She watched. They made her watch. They mistook her silence for consent. But inside, her magic, her soul, twisted. "You don't want an end," she said to the camera one day. "You want an audience." They punished her, chained her to the test crucifix. It stood in the center of the observation dome, a Y-shaped horror of cold iron and leather straps. Her limbs were splayed and bound. Wires ran from her fingernails into rusted consoles. They tore her robe, injected her, electrocuted her until the lights flickered. She bit through her lip. Blood pooled in her mouth. "Say it," Whitmore whispered. "Just say it. That one little word. Explosion." She spat in his face. The janitor came on a Tuesday. Kenji, Japanese. Tall, limping, face worn like old paper. He cleaned the filth off her skin and muttered broken Japanese lullabies under his breath. "They lied to you," he said, never meeting her eye. "Japan already lost. War is done. But they need a weapon big enough to justify all the dead." Her mind snapped. "I was summoned for theater?" He nodded. Then I will give them a show. The night of the storm, Megumin broke her thumb biting into the bone, enough to slip the cuff. She moved like a shadow torn from hell. Blood trailed behind her, sirens wailed. She killed the guards with stolen glass, one stabbed in the throat, another strangled with IV tubing. Her body moved on hatred alone. She retrieved her staff. They had displayed it like a trophy. She tore through the testing wing. Doors buckled under blast spells, men screamed, skin blackened, bone turned to gravel. She didn't speak. Only her footsteps echoed. At the edge of the desert, she stood barefoot on cracked earth. Lightning forked above. The test field, a steel graveyard of decommissioned bombs, spread before her like an altar. Whitmore arrived, panting, begging. "You can still serve. You can still be remembered." Her eye glowed. "I am not your legacy. I am your reckoning." He raised a pistol. His hand shook. She pointed her staff. Her voice thundered. Explosion! The world tore, a chain reaction. Magic laced into bomb casings. Flames bloomed like devils dancing. Screams evaporated in heat. Skin boiled from skulls. Eyes popped in their sockets. Los Alamos became ash. The desert melted. From the sky, a firestorm that swallowed stars. Then silence. Nothing remained but glassed earth, a crater the size of God's eye. And at its edge, a scorched doll with a red eye patch. Somewhere in the broken silence of creation, a voice lingers. "I was the weapon you prayed for." And then nothing, just wind through hollow bones. Years later, the government claimed it had all been a catastrophic test failure. The crater was sealed with concrete and myth. Files were burned. Witnesses vanished. No one spoke her name. But the janitor, old now, blind in one eye, sits on a bench in the ruins of what was once a town near the blast radius. He fingers a small blackened charm, a piece of her staff he found half melted in the rubble. He hums her lullaby, the one his mother sang when the bombs first fell in Tokyo. The fire came from the sky, and we deserved every ember. Behind his blind eye, a spark of red flickers. Somewhere far beneath the crust, something shifts. Megumin never really died. The bomb never really stopped burning.